Oh, okay. So you're gonna say in weird,
Yeah,
and then we're gonna
say,
okay.
and then we come in at.
I thought we were
between.
going in weird together.
We can if you can.
No,
if you
that's
can
better.
catch
That's better.
it.
I
Are
like
you
that
sure?
better. Yeah,
Because I feel like we're gonna keep missing it like every episode.
No, you got it.
You sure you don't try it?
No, we're
Okay,
good.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Karla.
And I'm Elias.
And we're in between. Hi, I'm Karla.
And I'm Elias.
And we're in between the sheets.
I told you that'd be the one.
Welcome to our episode 3. So if you're new to our channel or to our show, all we talk about is
So primarily the show is going to be like like an advice column kind of
regarding to relationships and love and or sex.
We really just want to be able to give you guys like a perspective on or at least our perspective on what we think is like appropriate
in our viewpoints.
Yes.
We are like...
We like to pretend we're experts, but we're not.
Yeah, we aren't experts. We aren't at all experts. We try to be very like pansexual, and we approach like a sexual scenario from all sides of the spectrum.
But we're gonna try to answer your guys' questions. So we have this here.
So by all means, go ahead and ask us in any way you know how.
And you'll have to forgive us if we're like a little stunned at first when we read your question, because honestly, we don't screen these.
Yeah,
so
we don't at all.
We have no idea what's coming out.
We have no idea what's about to happen unless you guys tweet it at us and we see that and we'll give you a very real reaction as to us reading this.
Okay. You have to read this one, and then you have to tell me whether or not I should read this out loud. I can rephrase it.
Yeah,
Okay.
rephrase it, and then afterwards we'll say why we had to rephrase that for our own well-being.
So the question is, when is it a good time to have sex without a condom in a relationship, right?
Yes.
Which was phrased totally. It's just vulgar. It was so great though.
In relation to meat.
Oh my god, yeah. In relation to me, that is just so gross when you say it too. And we were just having a conversation about how we wanted this to be just like...
Somebody made the comment of like, it might be a little too raunchy. And we don't try to be. Like, we don't try to be raunchy because this whole thing is about making it normal and easy to talk about. That way we can prevent any sort of misunderstanding.
We want to be able to sort of like, if you guys have a question phrased a certain way, we want to be able to iterate it back. Yes. The same way, so that we can have like an understanding of what it is that we're talking about exactly.
Yeah, because we know it's not easy to say.
This is just too much. So
that was
this is great.
That was very.
I want to say
I loved it. That's a great question.
That is a very good question, and I think, is it really dumb if we just constantly just say conversation? Can we just make that like a banner and put it just over the back? It just says conversation. I think it's important to know whether or not you're at a point in your life where you can handle that sort of responsibility.
It's too hard. It's too hard to generalize it like that. But continue with it.
But it's so important to know that there's so much that comes with it. You know what I mean? And if you're at a point in your life where you can handle that responsibility, that sort of it is a very big responsibility. And I feel like it depends on where you are in your life, doesn't it? Because
if you're willing. Just so risky to say if you're willing to make those risks, because life is a game of risks.
Here's my own personal perspective on what I feel is like a very important decision to make when you're talking about having unprotected sex. It's obviously like the whole having a child thing. I don't feel like having children is something you can just decide so easily. It's not something you just can up and say you want to do without having some sort of, I don't know, life.
It should be celebrated, like, let's make a day out of it.
Yes,
like,
I understand, I totally, absolutely understand that it's a thing where some people, have a preference for it, but then, when something like that falls on your lap, that's something you should, can come, it can happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then that's where the risk lies. Yeah. Be responsible, but it's just hard, so I like to make it like even more child's proof. It's like just for your own safety and like health and well-being. You never know, like diseases or whatnot.
Yes, that too. But then I think it's very important to know birth control, right?
also exists.
Yeah, and that's a thing that if you want to have a protected sex with a partner,
It's
right?
not
With a
more
partner,
so the
because we're talking
question-
about it in a relationship.
Even not in a relationship, like in all cases of where sex is involved, I think if your concern is mostly like childbirth or having or getting pregnant, there are other venues of doing that, like birth control, or any other, like having a diaphragm. Like there are other devices that you can use where you don't need a condom. But if you're going to not use a condom, the risk is truly within your health.
But you're thinking. I feel like you're thinking like with different partners, and if we're talking about in a relationship, that's why I would think the main concern would be having children, because I would assume
in a relationship.
Yeah, I would assume in a relationship you guys should be faithful to each other.
But even in a relationship, that's
unless
of me to say, sorry, but
unless you're out,
really
with multiple partners. In which case, I guess be safe. I totally understand.
I just don't trust anybody.
If you guys do share multiple partners, this is true. Yes, absolutely, be safe. But I don't know why I just immediately assumed that we were talking about like a monogamous relationship.
And I was applying it to my own life.
Well, even me, I'm over here thinking like a monogamous relationship. As someone who potentially could have multiple partners, I do think that it's very important to be safe. Absolutely.
Yeah, you put yourself in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah, I was like, I think you'd have to, because that's where I assumed the question, the viewpoint was coming from. That is very interesting. That is very interesting. I felt like that was the obvious way to go. If you're in a relationship and you're considering having unprotected, I struggle with that word. But do you want to have children or not? Because you can use birth control. But that's also a conversation.
That is a conversation. That's the thing. People were having this backlash at male birth control. Oh, okay, why is that important? And I'm like, because it should be their fucking responsibility too. Why the fuck are we the only ones who have to take birth control? Fuck you, you're part of this. If you have birth control, then it can be a conversation and not just is the woman gonna do it or not. If the male has to take a birth control, that conversation would be which one of us is gonna do it.
You think so?
I think it should be.
I mean, I don't disagree. I feel like everybody should be equally concerned about,
That was my huge thing about birth control. I was like, well, why the fuck do I have to be responsible for it? So March is the National Women's History Month. We decided to celebrate that because we are feminists, and if you haven't gotten that from this show. Also, this show is supposed to be educational, informative, so we think it's our responsibility to share some fun history facts in lieu of this month. So Elias is gonna share this fun fact that we found today and I drew out.
Yes. It says, if you want to address the clitoris, labia, and vagina together, vulva is the all-encompassing term.
Yes. So just so you get a glimpse of this.
Should we show this actually?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put a disclaimer at the beginning of the show. Good. So I drew this out for you guys just to show this. I don't know if you can see from far back, but I drew a vagina, and also because I think it's fair to also know, the male genitalia. We drew the penis as well.
Would not have guessed that was the penis. I wasn't reading the terms. I just looked at the drawing and I was like, don't know what it is, and I looked away. I thought for a second that was practice on the other side. Actually, I was like, oh, she must have messed up once and decided to start over. Do it again.
I apologize for drawing a penis so badly, but I made this fucking vulva beautiful.
You did.
So these are the different parts that they were saying what a vulva is. It includes the vagina. The vagina is what's inside. We get into the fallopian tubes and all that. That's the vagina. That's that dark space of matter right there. Then there's the urethra, which is where we pee out of. That's not an erogenous zone. That is the clitoris, which is an erogenous zone. And then we have the labia majora, labia minora. Yes. I feel like I'm talking about constellations. All this, the clitoris, the labia, and vagina, that is called the vulva. That is the external anatomy. I also drew the penis because I wanted to. I love drawing penises. You guys know that. I drew a giant scrotum. This is also not an erect penis. It's a flaccid penis. That is its scrotum, which is not part of the penis, but the parts of the penis are the shaft, the foreskin, and then the glands, which is the tip. So there you go, the vulva and a penis. You're welcome. So thank you for letting me share that fun history fact for you. I think we've had enough laughs for today.
I think we have.
I am red in the face. Thank you for joining us for another episode. If you like our show, tweet at us. I'm at Miss Kings, he's at the main Doge, and we'll have that spelled out for you in the bottom.
Always gets complicated.
Tweet at us, tag us on Instagram, we're on there announcing these shows as well. Do all the things, give us a thumbs up, tell your friends.
If you guys enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions you want to ask, you can leave them in the comments down below as well. I'm sorry that my voice is all raspy, actually.
Mine
I just realized I came back
too.
from a concert, you know, so...
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought I was just like, I've been whispering this entire episode, I think, until I just started getting like passionate and loud about something.
I came back from a concert.
We'll see you next time, next Monday, with a new episode of In Between the Sheets.
Absolutely. More questions and more fake advice. Alright, bye guys.
Pew, pew,
Finger
pew,
guns.
pew, pew, pew. Vulva. That is the external anatomy, which was what I was trying to write down here, and I don't know how to space this.
Jesus God.